Good morning. Welcome to the Wandering Drew. I am Drew. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm back at the University of North Florida, or UNF, and I'm going to do a trail that's here in their nature area. They have several nature trails, which is a great resource. It's the weekend, so it's free. So today I'm going to do a combination of multiple trails. I'm going to do some of what's called the Goldenrod Trail and the Gopher Tortise Trail. So I hope you'll join me. So this is the start of the trail. This is the parking lot here. So it's basically a short walk here. There's another trailhead if you go to the other direction from the parking lot, so it's no big deal. You start out on this boardwalk. As you can see, there were signs back there showing you what trails are here. So we'll take a walk. It's a beautiful day here in Jacksonville. It's Sunday morning. It's probably in the 60s right now. There was a cold spell earlier in the week, but it's come out pretty nice weather today. Perfect day for a hike. So I am using a new piece of equipment right now. I have a hands-free kit that I bought to replace that harness that I didn't really like. I returned that little chest strap harness. Didn't seem to enjoy it very much. And I bought something that goes onto the, similar to what I have for a camera, that goes onto the straps, the shoulder straps, and clasps on. And I think I can, obviously I'm testing it out right now, see how it comes out. But I like it I like it a lot better. Obviously I'm testing it out, but I seem to like it a lot better so far. It's also just to store the camera while I'm walking, so I can not have it in my hand all the time, which is what I've been doing. And it's supposed to be one-handed. You can push it in and twist it and it pops out, and then putting it back in. I haven't really tried it, so I'm not very good at it, so it's taking me a little time. I'm sure I'll probably have some recording of me doing it. Anyway, we're going to take this little boardwalk over this wet area, which is flowing very slowly, but still flowing. This is a short trail, relatively short. It's listed at about 3 miles, and I'll go into it a little later how I came to this trail. Obviously, I did discover UNF when I first moved here, but I came across some of the other nature trails from my first hike here that you'll remember. You can see nice, easy trail, soft tread, very well marked. I'm coming up to another marking here, and you can see where there's 2 trails that go here. This is the Big Cypress Loop, which is one of the reasons I'm here, as well as the Goldenrod Trail. So this is where the Big Cypress Loop turns off. And we are in fact going to do that. So, and you can see, even from the other way, the Blueberry Trail also goes here. And I've done part of that before as well. And I believe this trail, the Big Cypress, gets its name because there was supposedly a very large cypress tree, I think, that was not cut down when they did logging in the area years ago because it was so big. So I'm backtracking a little because I think I missed the big cypress that is here, which is why the trail has its name. So I'm going to walk back to where we joined the trail. It's supposedly right, very short distance after the beginning. I thought it was further down, but I didn't see it. But I have to take some of the side trails, so I'm going to have to do that. So we'll see if we can find this. That's another hawk making its noise. I think this is where the large cypress tree is. This is the only one I see here. You can hear that hawk in the distance. I don't think this is such a large cypress tree. It may be further in. There may have been a boardwalk or something here, but I can't tell. So that may be something like when they first made the trails, they had points of interest along, but I don't think those have been maintained, and obviously I don't know where the information is. There's probably someone I could probably reach out to and attempt to locate that information, but we're going to continue going along the trail. I've already backtracked enough, so this will be a little over 3 miles for me today. I am trying to do something that my therapist for PT recommended. I have now graduated, as I am calling it now, to I am wearing trail runners, not boots, and no brace. I do have it in the backpack, which I don't really need for this, but I'm carrying it anyway. So hopefully this trail isn't too bad. I think there's some roots and stuff you got to be careful, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to just navigate it with my ankle. A little further along the trail, we're still on the Big Cypress Loop, coming up on 3/4 of a mile. I did some backtracking, so I'm not 3/4 miles on the trail, but I've walked 3/4 of a mile, and been hiking a little over 25 probably minutes, 26 minutes, something like that. But here, one of the problems with these trails, it's you're close to some highways, so you do get some highway noise. But today, and the path I'm going now, it's like a very low hum in the distance, so you do get that feeling of there's some solitude. There's just this little buzzing. And here you can see we're coming back to the main trail. There's a bench here if you need to rest or take a break, have a snack. There was one somewhere on that loop that we were on too, in the Big Cypress Loop. So you see here we have Big Cypress Loop and the Goldenrod Trail. And we're going to take the Goldenrod Trail further down. So we're going a little bit deeper into the trail system here. But you can see the trails are very shaded, pretty level. They're nicely graded, and they've got the soft pine and dirt. So it's a pleasure to walk on. There are some roots, and in occasional areas there are cypress knees and things to watch out for. This is a shortcut to go from this trail to the other side of the trail. We're going to take the left. We're not going to take there's another loop over here. We'll come back here in a minute. But we're going to go walking. Adds a little bit more distance. But that's a shortcut. If you don't feel like doing the whole loop, you can cut it a little bit shorter and go over that bridge and then start heading back. So, but we're going to take this loop out. Just stumbled on something right before I started recording, and unfortunately my bad ankle kind of rolled a little bit, but I managed to stay up, and I don't think I injured it any. Certainly not hurting or talking to me any more than it was before. But so it's a good thing I'm probably doing this. I need to strengthen that, but at the same time there is a risk involved. You know, I'm walking and it's still not 100%, but no way to get that way except by, I think, exercise and time. Count up on 1.25 miles walked. I've been on the trail for about 40 minutes. You can hear, and very shortly probably see, one of the reasons why this part of the trails are, less desirable, because you can hear the highway very clearly now, or the road. And I could just see the flashes of cars through the trees off in this direction. I don't know if you'll see any of them, but you can see we're right alongside a road, a pretty major road in the area, so there's a lot of road noise. The good thing is that in a very short distance, we'll be kind of angling away from the road, so the road noise won't be quite as loud, but it will be there for a little bit. But it doesn't take much distance to get you away from the noise. And here's a path. You can either take the water, and some people have laid out some logs so you can try and go across staying dry. I'm going to go to the boardwalk and take the bridge. Although I think it would have been easier just to go straight through. There's a lot of roots over there. for my ankle. You see the cypress knees as well. It's a pretty big step here, but appreciated being there so I can stay dry. So here they label a dead end over here. I might take it just to see what it is, but the trail is going to lead off to the right. We're going to go straight. I want to see this dead end and where it goes. See, the highway is still off to the left, and this is where it would turn away from it, but I'm going to go up here and see what we see. We're exploring. And a fallen tree. An easy enough obstacle to navigate. And it looks like it just goes to this little stream here. I don't really see any trails continuing on. Oh, here we go. Spoke too soon. And you can see we're right next to the road here. Yeah, I'm going to turn back. Not much here, but, you know, just wanted to see where it went to. And here we are. After that side spurt, we're back to the main road. The main trail, I should say. And we are going to go off to the left now, which would have been our right before, following the trail. And there was this warning telling you it was a dead end, but we went exploring. So we're back on the Goldenrod Trail now. You can see there is a marker over here. I'll take you to it just so we can see it. Could be a little better marked. This one is quite readily visible. This one could be a little better, but with the sign saying dead end there, hopefully you figure it out. And we're going to follow the Goldenrod Trail. And I've reached the, I guess the connector or the shortcut that I was at earlier, where you can come through if you don't feel like doing this whole loop we just did. So, and that was very shortly after I finished the Big Cypress trail here. So we're still on the Goldenrod Trail. So, which to me appears to be one of the largest trails here. It's like a big loop on this side. A little further down the trail, I'm coming up on approximately 1.9 miles. And this is where the Goldenrod Trail splits off from the trail that we're going to do now, which is the Gopher Tortise Ridge Trail. And there you can see the markers. So the Goldenrod Trail would continue this way and will eventually take you back to some of the other trails in the parking lot. And this is the Gopher Ridge. So it's kind of, the Gopher Ridge is kind of like a loop. Gopher Tortise Ridge, or the trail, it rises up. So it's a lot drier here. Gone are the cypress trees, really. You got pines, and you got other trees, and it's more sandy. So we've kind of come to the top of the ridge here. The trail continues. Off to the left, there's a lake. It's a little drier here. You can see there's pine trees, and there's also oak trees as well. You can see the lake over here. There's a nice duck out there. We're going to continue along the trail. And you can see this is kind of like the crest, I guess, of that ridge. So it's looking like it's trending down right now. Here's a nice, much better view of the lake. There's a bench here. Someone's relaxing. I guess this lake is called Lake Surprise. I don't know why. Coming to an area where I believe there was obviously there was a fire. It may have been a prescribed burn. But you can see this area here is cleared of a lot of ground vegetation. But the trees do quite well. Pine trees are perfectly fine with this, and they survive. And also an area in here. And you can see a trench, so I'm assuming that may have been dug as a fire break. So I don't know if it was a naturally occurring fire or a planned or prescribed burn to rejuvenate the area, get rid of some undergrowth. And here you can see one of the Gopher tortoise holes that the ridge and the trail are named for. I don't know if that's an active one. There's a lot of debris out front. I don't know if that's really something that's being currently used, but you do see them here. This is the first one I've noticed. I think there's some more up ahead. And here's another hole you can see. There's a sign posted here. There's some other little trails here. I keep seeing little trails. I don't know if they're just people exploring, they're game trails, but you can see right here is the area. You see a sign telling you that they live on land. I guess they're calling it a burrow. So they dig burrows. And don't leave them alone. Don't touch them. They're protected, and they're not supposed to be put in water, and they don't need help if they're on land walking around. So leave them alone. I don't know if you can see, but we're obviously, this trail is going to turn shortly, but you can see the highway right over there. It's a major highway I used to get here, as a matter of fact. So you got a lot more road noise coming up right now, especially we're pretty close to it, and the trees are thinning out here. There's not as much to block that noise. Fortunately, as you can see, the trail is going to turn to the right, actually. The left, it goes to the highway and the access, and there's a canal there, or a lake. So I guess you could go there. I'll just show you what that looks like briefly. But it is not the trail that we're on or looking for. And I don't know if this is part of their trail system at all. I don't believe so. This may just be used for access and maintenance for the highway, for the lake. Obviously there was a fence here. You can see it's been knocked over. But here's the highway and the road. We're going to go back this way, which is the trail. Here's another huge pine cone, huh? Pretty big. And there's several deer tracks in the area here, so there is some wildlife here. Last time I was here doing a trail by myself, there was a gentleman that told me there was a bobcat on the trail, which back then I wasn't going the same direction and I didn't see him, but I have since made up for that, I believe. So I have seen a bobcat, just not in this area, but they're here. So coming down from the Gopher Tortise Ridge, we meet up here with the Goldenrod Trail, which is, if we would have stayed on it, this is where we would go, and it continues south. So we're now on to the Goldenrod Trail. As you can see, I'll spin you around. So you can see the sign, Gopher Tortise Ridge, the Goldenrod Trail, which continues down this way. And we are going down in elevation, and the area is becoming cooler. It's becoming more damp. I see some bridges up ahead, but there's a noticeable difference. Obviously the trees are here and it's just moist. So you see cypress trees again. So it actually is cooler as well. Feels better. You can see the areas here. There's a bunch of cypress knees all growing out. So here's some standing water. Okay, and we're about to meet the trail that circles Lake Oneida, which is the Blueberry Trail. And you see we've come out to the main trail. This circles Lake Oneida. And it's the Goldenrod and the Blueberry Trail. They're co-located here. And here's the lake. Not a great view. We'll see you better on the other side. And we'll continue on. So I'm a little further along. I'm on a trail around Lake Oneida. You've seen me do this before. I'm going the opposite direction now. There's a lot of people using this trail because it's a shorter loop and it's close to the parking lot. I must have just passed about 8 or 10 people. A bunch of families, a lot of little kids running around, stopping to pick up stuff, pine cones, things like that. So I'm going to continue going on. Just for me, I'm coming up on exactly 3 miles now, and it's been about an hour, 25 minutes. Here we are coming to the picnic area, and there's a bridge that leads into the island. We're going to go there. And here you can see on the bridge. Bunch of turtles resting on a piece of wood or cardboard. I don't know if that's purposely there for them or they're just opportunistic there. And then you can see there's an area here which I'm going to go explore now. So looks to be like an island. And this basically is just a little island in the lake. There's some benches. So I'm walking on the island here. Not much to see, just a little place I guess you can come see some stuff. I guess there's a little bit of a trail here, but it's not that big. So I'm just gonna walk around and see what there is here. But other than that, it's just another area. The bridge is obviously nice. And not too many people here. Someone's already built a shelter here. Maybe they're doing it as a blind or practiced their woodland survival skills. Emergency shelter construction. And we're going to go back over the bridge and we'll finish up the trail. Here's the obstacle course or activity area. And we're going to continue going on back to the trail. Parking lot isn't much further away. I'm right underneath the zip line, as you can see over here, but it's a nice view of the other side of the lake. And here we are back at the close to the trailhead. This is where the canoes and kayaks rental is. So here's the boat ramp, and I'm going to walk this way. It'll take me back to the boardwalk over here. And you can see the marking for the boardwalk, and this is where the Goldenrod Trail begins. We're going to go back here. And I'm going to stop here. There's some benches, and this will pretty much mark the end of the trail for me. This is the trailhead, and we're back at the parking lot, which is off to the right over there. So, easy enough trail. I'll give you the final numbers and track at the end of the video as usual. But just under about 3.6 miles roughly. I'm rounding up right now. I'll wait till I get back to the start. This is the bracket I bought that goes on. It's pretty good so far. I'm learning to use it. It clamps around the camera and holds it in place, and you can twist it and it pops out. I've done some video with that, so I don't know how that's going to come out. I hope it does come out for this video. The only problem I notice is that if I put an extension, another battery, to give it more power, it gets in the way. So I may have to end up filing it a little bit, either the battery or the bracket, or maybe both, so I can use it with that extended battery that I bought. So this is the extended battery, and if I try to use it with this clamp, it doesn't fit. It's just a little too wide at the bottom, and it won't let it close and seat properly. As you can see, maybe you can, maybe you can't, I don't know. But there, it won't close. So I might have to, because the screen I think is too far out, so I don't even know if that could be fixed. I'll probably have to use it without the clamp if I want to use this extended battery. One of the things I don't like about this extended battery is that you can see the LED screen is probably lit, and when it's attached to the camera, that LED screen never goes off with the battery percentage. So just by leaving it connected, the battery will drain itself to keep these percentage. It doesn't shut off. I don't understand that, but I noticed that last time I was using the camera. This hike and several of the other hikes I'm probably going to do going in the future. I went to REI and I ended up buying this book that I found, and it's called Best Easy Day Hikes in Jacksonville, Florida. And there's 20 hikes in here. So this hike that I just did at UNF is actually listed in the book. So I've done a couple already in exploring the area that are listed in here. I'm going to try and do more. Eventually, I think I may just try to do all of them. So that's going to be some hike for me to do in the future. I'll use this book maybe as a guide and go forward from that. So thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. Till we meet again.